Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies.
All right, man. The free agency, NFL free agency has started. The Saints has made some moves, questionable moves in my opinion. I think a couple good moves, just a couple. But we're gonna go through, talk about them, and let's just hop right into it. Let's start with off. I'm just gonna go right down this list, however they have it, lined up. We'll kind of talk about these. Nacy, I think that's a really, really good signing, a 1-year deal. They tendered him something like that. So I think he has a chance to play in this new system, and if he does. I think that'll be a good thing. So I do like that signing or re-signing. Dante Pettis, I'm not mad at it. He may not even make the team. I don't know how much he got guaranteed, but 1-year deal. Can play returner. He's kind of your backup plan if something happens to Rashid Shaheed again. Hopefully that's not the case. But I mean, this is not major. These first two are not major. Obviously, this is a big one. As even it says right here, here's a big one. Not just from Saints Wire, if you couldn't read that up top. Appreciate them for having this laid out the way they do. But Chase Young now, we can just hop into this one. 3 years, $51 million, could be up to $57 million, I believe, for Chase Young. Guy that was obviously a high draft pick. Was he number 1, number 2? Can't remember off the top of my head. Probably number 2, if I remember correct. But obviously high draft pick, all the potential in the world. Had 7.5 sacks his rookie season. Since that season, he has not got over 5 sacks. Well, he got 5.5 last year. Since 2020, he's not reached over 5.5 sacks. And you paid this guy almost $20 million a year. Now, I even tweeted about this, so some of you guys already got my thoughts on some of these things in free agency. But if you don't follow the Boot Tragedies on Twitter or the Track Mambo on Twitter, here's my thoughts. I think it's going to be extreme overpay or extreme underpay for Chase Young. And I know that's kind of playing both sides of the fence, and that's okay. But I think Chase Young, 5.5 sacks. You look at a guy that had 5.5 sacks, haven't really produced in the NFL, then you're considering this a super, super overpay. But if you look at last year and break it down, how he had 66 pressures, 12 pressures against the Giants, got after the quarterback well, didn't finish. You need to finish that off. If you're going to make $20 million a year, you have to convert those pressures into sacks, and he hasn't been able to do that. Can he? With a better defensive line, maybe a better scheme, maybe possible. Maybe it's possible, but this one I'm torn on. He was our best pass rusher last year. Him and Granite, he was our best pass rusher. So you definitely had to keep him. But the price tag kind of concerns me. The injury issues concern me in the past. He didn't get injured last year, so knock on wood, it stays that way. But before last year, he was very, very injury prone, didn't really produce. And so this is a risk. It's a very, very risky. Like I said, it's this high reward if it works out. So I'm not super, super upset at it, but the number, it kind of scares me because he just hasn't shown that he's worked at. But it's possible. Now you got some departures. Paulson Adebo, this one hurt. At first it came out that it was 3 years, $30 million, and I was ready to come on here and cuss everyone out. Then I think it came out that it's $54 million, so it ended up being like $18 million a year. Probably too steep for the Saints, but man, we should have retained him. This is a guy that it shouldn't even got to this moment with Paulson Adebo. We should have had him re-signed before it even got to this moment. You knew Dennis Allen and Lattimore didn't get along. You knew when you traded Lattimore, you should have re-signed Paulson Adebo. You should have locked this one up. Now you're going to have to put your faith in Kool-Aid and Alontae Taylor, who I have hopes for. But you should have re-signed Paulson Adebo, man. He's a good corner. He always makes a bonehead penalty at the end of the game and causes the game with a pass interference. But he's still a good cornerback. And we should have had this. Then you had Will Harris in the secondary, who was a major, major loss. This one made me mad. Obviously, we all know the news that I'm going to get to later. But I'm talking about in the moment. I'm going down the timeline. We couldn't afford to lose Will Harris. That was a huge, huge loss for the Saints right there. I'm not going to get too much into it because, like I said, we know what happened just a few moments ago. I'm traced with other teams. Obviously, got Goshaw from the Patriots, run stuffer, nose tackle, defensive tackle. He's going to be a starter for us. He's going to be good. He's an upgrade over what we had in Shepard and Saunders and things like that. So I do like this move. Got a 7-round pick. I think 2026 7-round pick. Yeah, so I mean, you can't if you trade a 2026 7-round pick for a starter in the NFL, that is a win. I don't care if he's 50 years old, 10 years old, that is a win. That is a win because usually a 7-round pick's probably not even going to make your roster. So that's a win for the Saints. You can't be mad at that. Some restructures. Eric McCoy restructured. He's obviously that's going to happen. Derek Carr, that's going to be a separate video. I don't even want to touch on that right now. Let's see. Don't care about that. Demario Davis restructured his contract. He's playing well. Do you want to keep him on the roster? Reopen. I don't care about that. We haven't signed him yet. Don't care about Brandon Cooks. Nathan Shepard, 1-year contract extension. It just lowered his salary cap hit. This was I understand you got to get cap compliant and things like that, but bringing him back was just Yeah, like what we doing, man? Especially with the extension. Like, eventually, just take the bullet, man. Fuck it. If it's a $7 million cap hit, just take it. Cut him. I don't even care. Like, cut him. Who cares? Take the hit. Like, take the hit. Sometimes you just gotta take the hit. I don't care about who we almost got. Don't care about that. Restructure Cesar Ruiz, Carl Granderson, Kalen Saunders, another one, man. Sometimes just take the hit. Like, bringing him and Shepard back. I'll touch on him and Shepard. I even tweeted this as well, the boot traders. Like, they're both backup linemen. When we got them, they were backup defensive linemen. So now they're going to be in their backup defensive lineman roles. You got Goshaw, you got Brissy. Those guys are going to be on the interior. You got Cam Jordan, Granderson, and you got Chase Young. So, like, you have defensive line depth. So those guys to go back to their normal roles of being backups. We tried them as starters. It did not work out. It did not work out. They're not starters. They're guys that should come in and give you 15 to 20 snaps, and hopefully they can play well in that role. They should not be, 40, 50 snaps a game, which we ask them to do sometimes. That's just not their role. They're just not good enough for that, and there's no shots at them. So they're back in the backup role, so I'm not mad at that. But if we got rid of them and got some new blood in there, I wouldn't have been mad at that. I would have actually preferred that. P1 to restructure, that's an obvious one. Tyrann Mathieu, basically, I'll even read what they said. Essentially tearing down the last year of his deal, replacing with a new contract for the 2025 season. I wanted to let go Tyrann. Under his old contract, I wanted him out of here. I'm just going to be honest. He doesn't play that well to be on that contract. Now, basically, it's going to be a high incentive contract. So that's hopefully that incentivize him to play well. And credit to Tyrann Mathieu, man. Hand clap with him. Unlike Derek Carr, he knew that he wasn't worth what he was going to get, and they're going to end up cutting him. So he went in and, had a team-friendly deal, helped the team out, took less, high incentive, though, so he can still get his money. But that's a guy from New Orleans. That guy bleeds black and golds. We just know how that go. Derek Carr, he's not a part of this. He ain't with us. Just say that. He's not with us. I don't care if he's on this roster. He's not with us. So credit to Tyrann Mathieu, and I'm glad that was a Mickey win right there. Mickey Loomis win. Mickey Loomis win right there. Now, other than that, we do got to get to Justin Reid. This was our big splash signing, I guess, was Justin Reid. Well, actually, before we get to Justin Reid, I guess we got to get to Juwan Johnson. I forgot about that. Juwan Johnson. Let's get to Justin Reid, man. Let's get to Justin Reid. I know a lot of y'all want to see Juwan Johnson talk. I'm going to save it for the end. So, hey, stay to the end. Justin Reid, man. 3 years, $31 million, $10 million per year. This is a really, really good signing. From Baton Rouge, Prairieville, went to Dutchtown High School. If you're from the area, you know where that is. But this is a really, really good safety. Obviously, he's going to be penciled in starter, best safety. I honestly might be the best secondary player on the team we have right now. So really, really good. We just got the Chiefs secondary from a couple years ago retiring and Justin Reid. So, I mean, I think this is a really, really good move for the Saints. Now, we can look at the stats, but the stats really don't tell, the whole story for safeties. We're going to go watch Justin Reid film. Like, we're definitely gonna go watch that. If you look at 2024, man, 87 tackles, 2 interceptions, 26 assists, 95 tackles the year before. He's had a really, really good career. And this guy's good. In the peak of his career right now for the Chiefs to let him go is crazy, man. Played at Stanford, obviously. You gotta be smart to play at Stanford or just to go to Stanford. I think this is a really, really good sign. And Mickey Loomis, A+ for this one. A+ for this one. We F for everything else. A+ for this one. Now, Juwan Johnson. Hey, lucky I wasn't at my desk and my computer when he signed for 3 years and $30 million. Now, let me tell you right now, it's nothing any of you can try to tell me in the comments, on Twitter, on Facebook, I'm not even on there, on whatever, Instagram, that this was a good signing. He is not a top 15 tight end in the NFL, and you gave him $10 million a year off hope and prayers. And what if he does this? And what if Kellen Moore gets him to do this? He hasn't done any of that, and he's going to get $10 million a year. And I've said on Twitter, I can name 15 tight ends better than him. Guaranteed, in my opinion. Maybe some's going to be, he's better than him. 10 for sure, 12 for sure. I think I can get to 20 if I really try to stretch it. Like, the thought of Juwan Johnson is better than the player of Juwan Johnson. Like, Kyle Pitts, it's almost like that. Kyle Pitts is better than him. And Kyle Pitts is labeled not, a bust, but he's still Juwan Johnson level. Like, I mean, we got guys like that he's in a conversation with those guys. That's 20 range, 18 to 20 range in my opinion. And if you don't believe me, guess what? People told me to do it. I'll do it. I got it pulled up. No worries. Let's just look at the top tight ends in the NFL. Brock Bowers, obviously, that's one. He's better. Trey McBride, we ain't got to go through there. That's 2. Kelsey, let's not be stupid. Jonas Smith, let's not be stupid. George Kittle, let's not be stupid. Zach Ertz, let's not be stupid. Hunter Henry, 66 catches last year, 274 yards. He's better. Pat Freiermuth, that's it, obviously better. Jasecki, obviously better. And Njoku, obviously better. I'm at 10 guys, and they're obviously clear-cut. They're better than Juwan Johnson. It's no debate. It's no debate. We can go to 11 and 12. Sam Laporta, Jake Ferguson, obviously better. That's just my opinion. They're both obviously better. We're at 12 guys that I think are locks being better. Cade Otton, actually 13. That's a lock. Mark Andrews, another lock. Dalton Schultz, I believe he's a lock. He had a down year last year because Houston had a lot of weapons, and obviously had Diggs and Dale and Nico and Mechie and those guys. But let's say we have 14 locks. 15's possible. Schultz are possible. Will Dissly is also possible. Now we got Juwan Johnson here. Oh, Tucker Kraft, that's a lock. My bad. So now we're at 15 locks, 16 possible. Noah Fant, possible 17. So we're at 15 locks, 2 possible. Kyle Pitts, a possible. Cole Kmet, possible. So I'm at 15 locks and 3 possibles. Dallas Goedert, a lock. 16 locks, 3 possibles. Isaiah Lockley, a lock. And that's just the top 25 guys. So I think I got 16 or 17 guys that are better than him. A lock, in my opinion. And 3 guys possibly. Like I said, that puts you at the 17 to 20 range. And we gave him $10 million a year. We could have found somebody cheaper. He barely outperformed Foster Moreau last year. And he's the number 1 tight end. Like, think about that. He barely outperformed Foster Moreau, and he's our top tight end. Like, I just don't understand that one. Man. Yeah, I don't know. That one, you can't convince me that, like, he just had a good season last year. You just can't convince me, man. That one was a head shaker, head scratcher, whatever you want to fucking call it. I like Juwan Johnson. I think he's a good tight end, but he should just be a complimentary piece on the team, second tight end. Like, we could have drafted a guy, I think, and got Juwan Johnson production, 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, we could have did that. But hey, hopefully it turns out well, and hopefully it goes well. And I don't feel like I'm taking shots at Juwan Johnson as a player. And I think he's an okay player. He's an okay player. $10 million a year? Ain't it? We could have spent that money. Justin Reid got $10 million a year. He's worth that. I feel like we could have gave that money to somebody else, but the Saints only did this because his cap hit was $6.5 million, regardless if he was on this team or not. So they had to just sign him, and that's the thing we've been doing, kicking the can down the road. So we have to sign these average players to these deals, and to keep kicking the can down the road. I don't like that one. I'm sorry. He has a great year. Hey, I'll eat my words. I'll say I was wrong, but I don't see it. Hopefully I'm wrong. But like I said, we'll see how it turns out. But man, we made some signings, we made some plays, and let me know what y'all think about all of this. In a nutshell, the Justin Reid signing is not going to just convince me that we had a great offseason. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. It's not over. We got the draft and stuff. But free agency right now, I knew we weren't going to be big spenders or big players. But they said we re-signed Carr or restructured him to B players. But we weren't. Let's see what else we do. Right now, we get a D. It was an F until we signed Justin Reid. Now it's a D-. That's where I'm at with it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. As always, thank y'all for tuning in once again. Just the Boot Tragedies. I'm out.